The topic of this lecture is Introduction to Civilization and Clash of Civilization Theory. In this lecture, there are two things which we will discuss, or which I have discussed. Number one, concept of civilization. Civilization and culture are two faces of a coin, and absence of one leaves the other incomplete. It means that civilization and culture are very similar or very near to each other. Both of them cannot be understood or which cannot be completed without each other. Civilization is a mixture of religious, social, economic, and political concepts and behavioral patterns found in a human society. I will repeat again, it's a mixture of religious. It means that in each and every civilization of the world, if we look at the history, we will find that in the civilization, any kind of civilization, we will find the, the traces or the elements of religion and social customs and cultures and habits and economic teachings or economic behavior and the political concepts or the political fighting or the political stories and the behavioral patterns found in a human society. Behavioral pattern means how the people behave individually and as a society or as a community or as a tribe in a society. So civilization is a mixture of all these things. Religion, sociology, economics and politics are the part of each and every civilization. They may be of different kinds. Next is the flora fauna. The flora means plant life and fauna means the animal life, and the geographical locations and the human races, ethnic divisions and climate, all these things influence civilization and culture. Like for example, if we take the example that there are geographical or environmental changes which are affecting the human behavior and the civilization. For example, in the cold season, we are using the hot beverages or hot things, drinks, and the lifestyle or the clothing and all these things also change. So the ecosystem or the geographical changes also affect the human civilization and their behavior. And climate all influence civilization and culture. The symbolic representation of all these elements is found in arts, language, literature, music, ideologies. Ideologies means religious concepts or concepts of a future civilization. For example, this means that with the help of these things, language, literature, music, ideologies, and history, we can make a prediction of the future of a civilization. Means that what will happen to this group of people, this nation in the future. How will they be more civilized or uncivilized? What will be the future? So predictions can also be made on the basis of the research of these things. It also culture and civilization also includes manners, social expressions, how the people behave, ethics or morals or morality, politics, modes of production, how the people, that means economics, law, the dresses of the law dress, what are the laws of dressing, food and beverages, and different systems of laws of inheritance and all those other things. All these things are the parts of culture and civilization, and it is the part of in different religions. To conclude, we can say that the difference of ideologies creates different civilizations. Let me repeat this again for you to understand, and for me and you. We can say that the difference of ideologies, the concepts or the beliefs, or the ideologies or the beliefs or the concepts or the aqidah or the philosophies, they create different types of civilizations. And the concept of civilization is an advanced state of a society possessing historical and cultural unity. This is very simple to understand, as I have expressed upstairs. Now the next part is definitions of civilization. There are many types of definitions defined by the social scientists. I have chosen a few for your uh, information and for recognition. One is society. Civilization is a society that has a very high level of culture and social organization. High level of culture, cultural habits, and second important component is social organization. How that society or the people living in a certain area, they have organized themselves. Another definition of civilization is advanced level of development in a society that is marked by complex social and political organization and material, scientific, and artistic progress. Material means from the economic point of view, from the human resources point of view, and from the science and technology or education. And the artistic means how these people are developing architecture of all kinds of architecture. This comes in artistic progress, in paintings, in architecture, in buildings, innovation. All these things are also considered to find out about in the definition of civilization, or which can be defined by looking at these things. The definitions of the term civilizations are numerous, as I have explained up. Now this is all we have in this small chapter or this lecture, and which means that civilizations, and the next part is also the part B of the next part of this, is that there's a theory developed known as the clash of civilization. There is a question among the social scientists that nowadays in the 20th century, and still it is a debate, that do the civilizations have a clash? The answer, there are different answers. Some people say yes, some people say no, but some people say yes on the basis of this, that the civilizations, as we have discussed up, are created on the basis of a philosophy or a theology or a religion, and so on and so forth. So there is no doubt. One view is that there is no clash of civilization, and the other view is that yes, there is a clash of civilization. And we can see many examples in the 20th century, and still today we are looking, if today the clash of civilization found all over the world in the name of bombings and suicide bombings and killing and all these problems. This theory, the culture of civilization, known as COC, is a hypothesis. Hypothesis means things which a thesis or a idea which has not been confirmed. That is why I said earlier, a few seconds back, that hypothesis means is not confirmed. When something, a debate is confirmed, one answer is confirmed, it becomes a thesis. So hypothesis means assumptions or something which has been calculated. So this is the clash of civilization, is a theory, but it is still an hypothesis. It is not confirmed. That people's cultural and religious identities will be the primary source of conflict in the post-Cold War. And we, as I said earlier, we can see after the fall of USSR and the Second World War, and now we are going towards the Third World War, and so on and so forth. So there is a conflict which we see today from east to west in the whole world. There is a conflict known as post-war conflict or post-Cold War conflict. Cold War means the war which was fought between United States, UK, and the European countries, and the countries of USSR, Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic of Russia and China, and so on. So these two blocks, they were having a fight in the past. Now they are also having a fight known as Cold War. The post-Cold War era is the period in which world history from the dissolution of the Soviet Union. You can read this later on. The point which has to be considered here is the cultural conflict. There is no doubt. I have my own views and opinion. You can have your own. So there is a cultural conflict among the people. There are issues that cause the conflict which we see today. And now this theory was presented by Professor Huntington, who said that world, in a global world, differences between cultures are real and important, and the fault line between the civilizations will be the battle lines of the future. He predicts that he looks in the future that there are going to be wars, third war, third world war, fourth war, and so on. So clash of civilization, according to this professor or philosopher, a social scientist, is a reality. The clash of civilization will replace the clash of ideologies. This is an important point. That was the dominant conflict of the 20th century. Conflicts between civilizations will increase due to an increased interaction, and most pronounced conflict will be between the West and the Islam. This is one of the major issue for me and you to understand and look to forward. And in this article, Huntington has said a lot. In conclusion, is Huntington pleads for improved cooperation. The conclusion is that he says that there should be a cooperation and a union between Western civilization, in particular between the European and North American component. And the question is why? Why he wants a union? And the answer is hidden, and that is, it is all against perhaps Islam. What do you now? I have left a question here for you. What do you say about Huntington's opinion with the knowledge we have after so many years later? Thank you very much for your attention.